With the plants being so tall, we're gonna walk around the edges and use the gun. And then down the middle of the wide upper field. That's right. Lob it, lob it, lob it, lob it.
Well, you're just going to do one side as you walk down.
Correct, correct.
And then we'll come back the same path.
And do the other side. That's right. So what Dad and I were just discussing is the sunflowers are abundant enough and tall enough where we really don't want to drive over the field making multiple passes with the boom sprayer because we're afraid of the damage it'll do to the sunflowers. So we're actually going to do the perimeter and go down the middle that we left a swath down the middle using the gun attachment. So I'm just going to walk behind the tractor and just lightly spray all into the sunflowers around the perimeter and then 2 swaths down the middle, and hopefully we'll be able to reach most everything we need to reach. Flushing this tank out one more time just to make sure there's no herbicide residue. That should be all tank cleaner. Time to go spray some post-emergent herbicide. We are spraying both of these upper fields today. Both of them we're going to spray for grasses and broadleaves. I'm about 2 weeks late on this. I just couldn't get back out here quick enough, so the grasses are actually pretty tall, but I still think we'll be okay. So that's a beautiful field of sunflowers coming in. Let's spray some herbicide. So we're just going to cruise easy down the middle. I'm going to spray this right side first, and you just keep watching me, all right? You turn me on. As narrow as this tractor is, I just think we'd kill way too many sunflowers driving through there with the boom sprayer. So we're going to use the gun. Get all the water out of here. Oh. Got a leak. Ah, we got a leak. A pneumatic fitting that was working perfectly fine a month ago has lost its seal. So we got to fix that real quick. All right, disaster averted. We just got rid of the pneumatic quick disconnect, straight lined it in here because it had a really bad leak. But we're ready to go. All right. Pre-emergent was working really nice in some areas. It's like maybe some areas just got missed. The nitrogen is also feeding the sunflowers. There's nitrogen in the surfactant. Deer are definitely in here eating them. Just about got half of this field sprayed, and there's a lot of grass in here. I think next year I need to mix in a like pendimethalin or some kind of yellow herbicide for that grass control. But we got about half the tank out, another half of this field to go. Let's keep spraying. Oh yeah, a lot of deer.
Just noticed that.
30 gallons was just short of what we needed for that 3/4 acre field. My gut told me to go with 35 and I went a little short. But on the next tank for that lower field, I'll go ahead and spray the rest of that. It's just a pretty small area. I think that'll be okay. We're gonna load up, spray the other field. Let's talk about these chemicals we're using real quick. Spraying post-emergent herbicides. The Clearfield variety sunflowers allow you to spray Imazamox. If you watched the last video, you know why I use Imox instead of Beyond. Much more cost effective, but the active ingredient's the exact same. As you saw spraying, there's a tremendous amount of grass in the field. So that's what this guy's for. That's clethodim. That's going to target the grasses. Imox will target some of the grasses, but mostly broadleafs, whereas the grass out is specific to grasses only. And we're also mixing in a non-ionic nitrogen-based surfactant, NitroSurf. And the rates, I had a little cheat sheet here. This upper field is 3/4 of an acre. So we're putting 3 ounces of the Imox, 12 ounces of clethodim, 36 ounces of nitro. I was planning to go a little lighter on the NitroSurf, but David down in the comments, David, thank you for all the input here. He says he sprays at 3 pints per acre, so that's the math on this one. We're spraying 3 pints per acre, just gonna see how it does. But let's get the second tank loaded up, spray out that other field. One thing I like to do is put a little bit of water in here and then add my chemicals and then put the rest of the water. That way that flowing water really helps agitate this whole tank. Now for that 3/4 acre field, 30 gallons was just short, but for the half acre field, I think 30 gallons will be perfect. So we're gonna do 30 gallons again, but on a half acre field instead of a 3/4 acre field. There's the water boy.
This is a fine H2O.
So we got all our chemical in here. As you see, when we use the hose, it really agitates it nice and even. Let's fill her back up, 30 gallons, and then we'll get the other one sprayed. Up here, we got much better grass control in this long field. I'm not exactly sure why, if that's just this area, but in general, we're looking pretty good over here. Certainly some pockets of grass, but let's get this thing sprayed out. I'm gonna have to spray behind me with this wind. There you go. Much better weed control over here. Using that wind, get a nice even spray. In here too, we've got deer in both of these fields, as we expected. Noticing a lot of deer pressure up in this corner. Almost all these in this 15-foot area are clipped off. But we're gonna go ahead and spray it just in case any of them survived. Pretty sure that's lamb's quarter. I'm gonna have to look that up. We got a bunch of broadleaf in here, and it's all about the same. So I think that's lamb's quarter. There's some thistle. spraying is done. We got the tank cleaned up and put back. We got both of those fields sprayed out with the Amazomox and the clethodim and some NitroSurf. And I think we got really nice coverage out there, even though we're using the wand versus the boom sprayer. With that tractor being so narrow, we would have killed and crushed a lot of plants, and I just don't have it in me to do that. So if you think that was a horrible idea, please let me know in the comments. But try to make it as uniform as possible and then target, you know, the specific grass areas. So we're done spraying. On to our next adventure. Stay tuned. It doesn't have to